Does it look like inside there? Where am I? You're in my gas tank. What? Welcome to my channel and thank you for subscribing. Right, let me explain the situation. There is rust in the tank causing the scooter to have indigestion. There are millions of videos on YouTube influencing you to use different products. From my experience, vinegar is a very light rust remover. If you have rust flakes in your carburetor, vinegar is just not going to do it. Now, if you don't want to get very scientific over the situation, I recommend you use pool acid. There are two ways to attack. Number one, add 20% pool acid to water and walk away. Don't forget to fill it right to the brim. Inspect every 4 hours and you could leave it for about 2 days. I wouldn't suggest leaving it for more than 2 days. Or number two, adding about a half a liter of pool acid and shaking it in the sun for about 2 to 4 hours. Just remember, there's oil in gas, and if it's a two-stroke mix, pool acid doesn't really like that. With this method, watch out you don't get your Willy Wonka on fire, because pool acid goes everywhere. Personally, I used method 1, leaving it overnight, and the next morning I added clean pool acid and shook it for 5 minutes and then straight away rinsed it. It will rust straight after it has dried. So adding gas will only reactivate the rust all over again. There is water in gas. I went on the internet searching for answers. Not even the dark side had answers. What can I use in my garage that's inexpensive to coat the tank? Unfortunately, I am broke and don't have much option. My broke logic kicked in. Let's experiment. I tried out all the paint products in my garage and I was left with one paint that they claim is oil splash resistant. That's good enough for me. Here is a little experiment. Here I have some zinc primer and red oxide. I am going to add some gas to both of them. And let's see what happens. Five minutes later. As you can see, the zinc primer is dissolving, but the red edge primer is doing nothing. Watch this. Now the true test, the red oxide. This stuff is not going anywhere. The clear winner in this product test is the red oxide. The worst case scenario with the red oxide is it could peel off or shrivel up, either way. Hopefully that doesn't happen to me. A few tips when lining a Vespa tank. Make sure you don't block these holes in the filler cap. You will restrict the fuel flow and your engine will sneeze. It is best to cover it with a plastic bag when lining your tank. In my situation, I was forced to use a fuel filter. And as you can see, there's a lot of gunk that is actually rust flakes. Good advice on my side is to remove everything from your tank. Don't be a pawpaw. I was distracted while stripping the fuel tap, and I forgot the screw inside the tank that holds it in place. Now don't be a pawpaw like me, because this is what happens. As you can see, the nut has shrunk enormously, and I was unable to use it again, leading me to ask all my friends, who's got a fuel tap screw? This is bad choices in life. Don't be a suspect to interrogation, because everyone asks me, how the hell did you bust that nut? Luckily, a close friend who lived very close to my old shop had a nut in his box and speed posted it to me. 2 days. If I don't try to stop the rust now, sooner or later I will have bullet holes in my petrol tank. The fuel strainer is only good to stop particles like this from falling in your engine. No gauze orientated filter is going to stop rust or sand or dirt. And the best filter to use is a paper filter. It's a sad story, but this Vespa is busy eating itself alive. There are a few things in life that are reliable. Taxes, gravity, and Vespas. Don't let rust spoil the fun.